Welcome back, and let's carry on with some requests. And the next one is wish or context logics. And Veronica is asking about it. Now, Veronica, I mean, you're a brave lady. If I look at this price, I mean, the momentum to it is 100% to the downside. I just want to zoom it out a little bit for you. I mean, do we see any reversal candles? I just want to zoom it out completely. There's your 40-week moving average. So it tells you that the trend is still 100% to the downside. But I think what you are seeing this little candle, and that is a dragonfly doji. Now, what is the meaning of a dragonfly doji? A dragonfly doji always tells you that there is some buyers around buying the. But I mean, if I look at this chart and the momentum is down, it tells me that, yes, they are brave buyers. Sometimes, as we've learned from Mr. Warren Buffett, he always says, when everybody is selling, you must buy. But I mean, for me, I'm a little bit nervous because some of the clever fundamental analysts will also tell you, you only buy when the 40-week moving average turns into a support. And there is the 40-week moving average. So for me, it will be a speculative buy. I just want to draw in that little line in for you there. There you are, Veronica. If you want to buy, let's just bring it a little bit down. Yes, there you are. If you want to buy, I think you can buy above 150. And here's my stop loss. My stop loss will be at 120. And I mean, this little bullish candle that's maybe in the developing, let's just zoom it out. There you are. There you are. I just want to get that. There you are. What we see here is we can maybe see this dragonfly doji, and this little candle right at the end is maybe telling us that those buyers that bought, they are getting convinced that the share can maybe go a little bit higher. So for me, above that 158, I'm positive, but it needs to close there, and it is not there at the moment. It needs to close on Friday above 158. I'll stick to my stop loss and listen to this beautiful upside targets, Veronica. And I will say, don't sell your farm or your house to buy it. You can always dabble in this one. And where's my targets? My first target will be 169. There's a little level there. 185. 188. I mean, if this thing starts to go $2 as well. But look what's the history of this share. I mean, if you get this right, it can become a 10-bagger. So you are right. I mean, you may be 100% correct. And I hope that you drop the question in a few weeks, then we can see if the chart assisted you. I do like Dragonfly Doji. Let's have a look at Ellies. Mel is asking about Ellies. Now, Mel, I mean, looks like you and Veronica are spotters of shares that's been bombed out. Now, Ellies, of course, was a while back. Can you believe that? The share was a while back. I mean, that's a few weeks. Okay, I mean, that is late 2021. The share was as high as 50 cents. And what do we see now? I see this little consolidation. I just want to zoom it out again for you so that you can see what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this consolidation of the last 3 weeks. What I like about the share is the following. Just want to draw that line in. Can you see that every time that the share gets to 19 cents, there is some buyers protecting that level. And that happened for 1, 2, 3 weeks. And this candle that is forming now, we will only know what it's going to look like on Friday. But what this candle is telling us is, look at that. There is some buyers there, not just supporting this 19 cents, but they're starting to buy it. And for me personally, if the share can get above 22, then you can maybe see a nice upsurge because your levels to the top will be 23, 24, 25, whoa, 26, it looks like 26, 27, 29, 30. So let's have a look. For me, I will still make use of my stop loss. My stop loss will be this 19 cents. Sometimes if you're a little bit brave, and we call that they shake the weak hands out. Sometimes if you see a stop loss here at 19 cents and you didn't buy too much, maybe just lower your stop loss a little bit below this 19 cents, because I've seen it so many times. If the share drops below that 19 cents, you are nervous immediately. You just lock it in and you just walk away just to see later in the afternoon or the next day or the following day, it turn around and suddenly it support that idea of yours and it closes above that 19 cents. So there's a golden rule here. Either you take the stop loss early in the morning and you're quite convinced that you are wrong because you look at the previous day's close, or I sometimes say to my guys, let's just give the share chance till about 11 o'clock so that we can at least see a proper candle developing. And if they're not 100% sure, I say, let's even make the decision at 4 o'clock. But that you can only do if you have a tiny position, if you have patience on your side. By the way, the other day, I worked hard the whole afternoon. I called a short on the Aussie. I actually timed it a little bit too early and then I adjusted it and eventually I entered into it. It did not trigger our stop loss, but what happened is the patience. We had to sit in front of the screen for 4.5 hours to bank 500 points. But it was worth our while. So the same thing here, if you look at the daily chart, use patience sometimes to help you with the decision making. Don't just rush off and do stupid things because that can cost you some money. Joseph is asking about Xirec Biopharma. And it looks like we've got a few sharpshooters here tonight. Because what does he see? He sees something that I like. And what do I see? I see that every time that the 40-week moving average was a resistance, the share sold off. And there you are exactly at the same point. And look at that. You had a brief moment of 3 weeks above that 40-week and it turned into a resistance. Something here. Look at this candle. Not one of these candles is showing this beautiful lower shadow. This lower shadow tells me there's maybe something on the boil here. And Xirec is listed on the NASDAQ. So what do I say? At the moment, it looks like we're going to see a bullish engulfing candle by Friday. That is positive, by the way, if it closes like that. But if you look at it, for me, some guys will say, yes, they will look at that level to enter. Some of the candlestick lovers, they will say, Frans, we will enter at about 209. I'm going to differ from them. I will say, if I look at my 40-week moving average, that is holding the key for me. And I will rather wait for the 40-week moving average to turn into a support, because what I've seen over the years, and there you are, look at that. Every time that the 40-week moving average turns into a support, we get a nice rally. And if it turns into a resistance, we get a downtrend. So for me, what will I do? I will not buy on top of that candle that I just showed you now. I will patiently wait for the following. I will wait for this candle. Now, I've got now a nice call here. I will say, first of all, I like this candle with this lower shadow because somebody actually supported the share at around $1.24. They bought the dip. I like that. The second thing is I look at this bullish candle. I like that as well. I say that is a nice candle. And for me, it needs to get above this 40-week moving average to make me excited. Why? Because the 40-week moving average has shown in the past that there was plenty of opportunities to buy or sell on this. So my 40-week moving average is sitting where? It's sitting at 234. So yes, I will nibble at 234. But my stop loss, I will not use this stop loss of 124. I mean, that's a whole dollar. That's a lot. I will not do that. I will enter in that position. Where's my stop loss? I will use this lower shadow. There's a nice lower shadow. It tells me that there was even some buyers around there. There you are. I just want to draw that line in for you. I will use, Yusuf, I'll use my stop loss at 215. And that's a tiny, tight stop loss. And I will use that as my guideline. And where's the targets? If it breaks there, easy, 253, 274, 297, and even as high as 3 if we are lucky. Sheet is asking about Chevron. Now, I mean, look at the oil companies. All of them are just rallying and they're doing well, and nothing can go wrong. And I can remember the Nasdaq last year. I said, can anything go wrong? And nothing went right. Everything went wrong. It just fell to pieces when it started. And for me, same thing here. I mean, Chevron here, nice chart, and everybody will say, Frans, look at that flag. Beautiful bullish flag. Look at that. Nice move to the top. Some guys will say this is an ascending triangle. I'll prefer that than a bullish flag. My crucial point is 175.54. But now your question is, will you buy after the share went from September, just September last year, from $94 to $173. Yes, I do know that the oil price is spiking and everybody's got an energy problem. What I also do know that if the share starts to drop below 161.97, then suddenly everything that looks okay is going to turn nasty. So for me, unfortunately, I'm not a momentum trader. I will not chase it above it. But I mean, if you want to do that, do that. Use your stop loss of 158.14. And where can it go to if you do a projection here? Yes, it can go nicely. You can maybe see it up to 200, and that's maybe the idea here. It can go to 200. There you are. But for me, I'll be nervous. I will not add on to my position. In actual fact, if I do hold them, I will check this chart closely, because I will say, what can go wrong? And I mean, if you made 40 or 30% on a chart from September last year, be happy. My old dogs in my group, they always say, easy money, we just take it off the table. Thank you for watching the show. Visit our website, www.fransdeklerk.com, for more info. And remember, if you want to learn about the Aussie trading and you've got the time to do it, join us on the group. Well, thank you. All the best.